Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan selamat petang kepada semua rakan-rakan media. Berdiri sebaris dengan saya adalah Dato' Dr. Rohaizat, Dr. Noor Hisham dan Dr. Hisham Shah. Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia ingin memaklumkan bahawa terdapat 103 kes yang telah pulih dan dibenarkan discharge pada hari ini. Ini menjadikan jumlah kumulatif kes yang telah pulih sepenuhnya daripada jangkitan COVID-19 dan telah discharge pada ward adalah sebanyak 3,452 kes, iaitu bersamaan dengan 62.4% daripada jumlah keseluruhan kes. Sehingga 22 April 2020 jam 12 tengah hari, terdapat 50 kes baru yang telah dilaporkan. Ini menjadikan jumlah kes positif COVID-19 di Malaysia adalah sebanyak 5,532 kes. Oleh itu, jumlah kes aktif dengan kebolehjangkitan COVID-19 adalah 1,987 kes. Mereka telah diasingkan dan diberi rawatan di hospital. Sehingga kini seramai 43 kes positif COVID-19 sedang dirawat di unit rawatan rapi. Dan daripada jumlah tersebut, 25 kes memerlukan bantuan pernafasan. Daripada maklumat terkini yang dilaporkan ke CPRC Kebangsaan, duka cita dimaklumkan bahawa terdapat pertambahan 1 kes kematian berkaitan dengan COVID-19. Justru jumlah kumulatif kes kematian COVID-19 di Malaysia adalah sebanyak 93 kes, iaitu bersamaan dengan 1.68% daripada jumlah keseluruhan kes. Kes kematian ke-93 iaitu kes 5,483 merupakan perempuan warga negara Malaysia berumur 72 tahun dan mempunyai latar belakang penyakit barah dan darah tinggi. Beliau telah dirawat di Hospital Umum Sarawak pada 20 April 2020 dan disahkan meninggal dunia pada 22 April 2020 jam 9 suku pagi. Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia mengucapkan takziah kepada ahli keluarga beliau. Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia telah mengesan satu kluster yang bermula di Pengarah, Johor. Case index iaitu kes 1,508. Kluster ini telah mula mengalami gejala pada 12 Mac 2020. Beliau telah dirawat di sebuah klinik swasta pada 16 Mac 2020 dan disyaki menghidapi demam denggi. Pada keesokan hari, beliau telah merentas beberapa buah negeri untuk mengunjungi sanak saudara di sekitar Selangor sebelum pulang ke Pengarah pada 18 Mac 2020. Keadaan kesihatan beliau mula merosot dan dimasukkan ke Hospital Sultanah Aminah Johor pada 20 Mac 2020 dalam keadaan kritikal. Beliau seterusnya disahkan positif jangkitan COVID-19 pada 22 Mac 2020. Setakat 22 April 2020, kluster ini melibatkan sebanyak 15 kes positif COVID-19, iaitu 10 orang rakan sekerja dan 5 orang ahli keluarga kes indeks, termasuk ibu beliau yang berusia 79 tahun dan anak perempuan berusia 10 tahun. Sebanyak 7 kes daripada kluster ini masih dirawat di hospital, manakala 8 kes lagi telah pulih sepenuhnya dan dibenarkan discharge. Secara keseluruhan, 3 kes di dalam kluster ini telah dirawat di ICU. Jangkitan di kalangan ahli keluarga yang menetap di negeri lain adalah dipercayai berpunca daripada aktiviti kunjung-mengunjung yang berlaku sehari sebelum pelaksanaan PKP. Seperti yang sedia maklum, penularan pandemik COVID-19 yang kini melanda seluruh dunia telah memberi kesan yang sangat ketara terhadap amalan dan norma kehidupan seharian kita. Ini termasuklah perubahan kepada cara amalan keagamaan dan tradisi kebudayaan seperti budaya kunjung mengunjungi perhimpunan keagamaan dan majlis kerajaan yang merupakan antara identiti unik masyarakat majmuk di negara ini. Tradisi dan amalan ibadat pada bulan Ramadan bagi umat Islam di seluruh dunia akan turut terkesan memandangkan banyak negara sedang melaksanakan kawalan pergerakan dan kawalan sempadan bagi mengekang pelunaran jangkitan COVID-19 di negara masing-masing. Mengambil iktibar daripada penyebaran jangkitan COVID-19 dalam kluster Pengarah dan juga subkluster Rembau, masyarakat diminta untuk kekal patuh kepada perintah kawalan pergerakan dan elak daripada melakukan sebarang aktiviti kunjung-mengunjung ke rumah rakan dan sanak saudara. Ini termasuk perjalanan merentas negeri, daerah dan mukim atau menghadiri perhimpunan besar-besaran termasuk majlis keagamaan dan majlis kerajaan. Kementerian Kesihatan khawatir aktiviti seperti ini yang sememangnya telah menjadi kelaziman rakyat Malaysia akan mengakibatkan penularan jangkitan COVID-19 di kalangan ahli keluarga, terutama kepada golongan warga emas dan kanak-kanak. Umat Islam di negara ini diseru untuk menggunakan peluang semasa bulan Ramadan yang bakal menjema untuk menjalankan aktiviti dan amalan keagamaan seperti persediaan juadah terbuka, berbuka puasa dan solat berjamaah dengan keluarga di rumah masing-masing. Selain daripada meraihkan bulan Ramadan bersama keluarga tersayang di rumah, langkah ini dapat membantu kita menjaga dan melindungi ahli keluarga yang dikasihi, terutamanya ibu bapa yang berusia dan anak-anak kecil daripada jangkitan COVID-19. Orang ramai juga dinasihatkan supaya sentiasa mengamalkan jarak sosial yang selamat sekurang-kurangnya 1 meter daripada orang lain dan penjagaan kebersihan diri yang tinggi seperti kerap mencuci tangan dengan menggunakan air dan sabun. Seterusnya ingin dimaklumkan kluster perhimpunan di Sri Petaling. Setakat ini bilangan sampel yang disaring ialah 29,400 dan sampel yang diambil ialah 28,211. Bilangan yang positif adalah 1,978 melibatkan 5 generasi. Seterusnya kita ke kluster pelajar-pelajar tahfiz. Telah dikenal pasti 13,223 pelajar tahfiz di 200 sekolah madrasah. Pun begitu, 4,647 sampel telah diambil iaitu bersamaan dengan 35% dan didapati 298 pelajar adalah positif iaitu bersamaan dengan 6.4%. Dan kita ke laporan PKPD dan dimaklumkan lokaliti Menara Plaza City One, bilangan sampel yang telah diambil setakat ini ialah 1,986 dan ada pertambahan 11 kes menjadikan jumlah positif 51 kes dengan 1 kematian. Dan yang seterusnya adalah Selangor Mention, ada tiada pertambahan kes dan kekal 85 kes. Malaysian Mention juga tiada pertambahan kes dan kekal 4 kes. Lain-lain masjid di kawasan Masjid India, sampel yang telah diambil adalah 1,188 kes, tiada pertambahan kes, kekal 3 kes. Dan untuk Bandar Baru Ibrahim Majid, kekal tiada pertambahan kes iaitu kekal 183 kes. Lain-lain lokaliti di luar Bandar Baru Ibrahim Majid kekal 39 kes iaitu tak ada pertambahan. Kampung Sungai Lui juga tiada pertambahan kes, kekal 131 kes. Bukan Kampung Sungai Lui, tiada pertambahan kes, kekal 315 kes. Dan pusat bandar utara sekitar Pasar Borong Kuala Lumpur, sampel yang diambil ialah 4,532 sampel dan setakat ini tiada kes tambahan tetapi jumlah kes yang didapati ialah positif ialah 28 melibatkan satu kematian iaitu warga negara Myanmar. Seterusnya kita ke kluster dan kluster yang telah ada pertambahan didapati ialah kluster Menara Plaza City One sebagaimana yang saya sebutkan tadi, ada pertambahan 11 kes baru menjadikan jumlah keseluruhan kes di Menara City One 51 kes. Kluster petugas kesihatan Kuching iaitu ada pertambahan 10 kes menjadikan jumlahnya 50 kes. Dan kluster persidangan gereja di Kuching ada pertambahan 7 kes menjadikan jumlah 146 kes. Kluster kejuruteraan di Kuantan ada pertambahan 3 kes menjadikan jumlah 61 kes. Kluster Madrasah Sungai Salan di Jerantut ada pertambahan 3 kes menjadikan jumlah 78 kes. Kluster PUI di Itali iaitu di Kuching ada pertambahan 1 kes menjadikan jumlah 60 kes. Kluster Madrasah Air Membau ada pertambahan 1 kes menjadikan jumlah 39 kes. Kluster pelajar yang pulang dari luar negara pesantren iaitu ada pertambahan 1 kes menjadikan jumlah 55 kes. Kluster Madrasah Sungai Lui tiada pertambahan, kekal dengan 128 kes. Kluster eksekutif iaitu di wilayah Persekutuan, Selangor dan Negeri Sembilan, Johor dan Pulau Pinang tiada pertambahan kes, kekal 121 kes. Dan kluster yang lain juga tiada pertambahan. Sekian, terima kasih. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan, silakan.
Datuk ada 3 soalan. Kita nampak zon Perlis tu dah nampaknya ada zon hijau sejak semalam kan, dengan kes-kes yang sudah pulih. Macam mana dengan pergerakan rakyat dan perniagaan, dan adakah Perlis ni akan mungkin digunakan sebagai projek rintis untuk kita nak berperingkat-peringkat untuk tamatkan PKP. Soalan kedua, apa status 8 orang pakar perubatan dari China tu? Adakah mereka akan dikuarantinkan atau sedang dikuarantinkan atau sebagainya? Dan mengapa kes aktif di Samarahan dan Kuching masih tinggi? Jadi apa perancangan KKM untuk menangani situasi ini? Terima kasih, Datuk.
Okey, terima kasih. Sekarang kita lihat di negeri-negeri di utara, memang sekarang ni kita lihat kawasan zon hijau. Jadi kita dalam proses melihat kepada bukan sahaja negeri tetapi juga daerah dan juga mukim. Dan kita tengah membuat perancangan untuk tindakan selanjutnya. Kita akan berbincang dengan MKN melihat kepada kawasan-kawasan zon hijau. Jadi kawasan-kawasan zon hijau perlu dilindungi. Jadi kita akan sarankan tindakan yang sewajarnya untuk kawasan-kawasan yang hijau, bukan hanya negeri tetapi kita lihat kepada daerah dan juga mukim-mukim. Jadi tindakan seterusnya kita akan maklumkan seminggu 2 ni. Yang kedua, bukan isu jadi yang warga negara Cina 8 orang telah pun sampai ke Malaysia dan swab telah dilaksanakan dan didapati negatif, dan kita masih memantau dari segi pergerakan mereka, dan pergerakan mereka terkawal oleh Kementerian Kesihatan. Jadi kita tahu di mana mereka, dan juga kita masih menggunakan peluang ni untuk menjalankan perbincangan, dan juga kita dapati bukan hanya perbincangan yang positif, langkah-langkah yang pengalaman mereka dan langkah-langkah pencegahan mereka laksanakan, dan juga ada perkara yang mereka laksanakan yang kita dapat belajar, dan ataupun langkah-langkah tindakan mereka tu ada yang tak berjaya juga pun kita belajar bersama. Jadi perbincangan masih dijalankan bersama dengan mereka. Seterusnya, mereka juga tak ada gejala langsung. Yang penting sekarang ni dalam saringan kita lihat kepada gejala, iaitu PUI. Kalau mereka ada gejala, terus kita masuk kat PUI. tetapi mereka tak ada gejala, mereka juga tak ada kontak rapat dengan kes-kes yang positif. Mereka telah disaring di negara China dan juga disaring di Malaysia. Yang seterusnya ialah isu samarahan, iaitu ada 2 kluster yang besar kat situ, iaitu kluster PUI, ada 3 kluster ya. Satu ialah PUI Italy, dan jadi satu lagi kluster persidangan agama di gereja, dan juga satu lagi kluster barisan kesihatan di barisan hadapan kesihatan di hospital. Jadi kita masih kenal pasti bagaimana kita dapat memutuskan lagi penularan, tetapi yang pasti ialah tindakan active case detection kena dipergiatkan lagi, pertingkatkan lagi untuk kita mengenal pasti the close contact tu. Jadi mungkin ada kalanya katalah PUI yang pertama dia kerja di bank contohnya. Jadi mungkin mereka yang kita kenal pasti ialah close contact yang didaftarkan ataupun yang kenal. Ada yang tak dapat kita kenal pasti siapa yang close contact tersebut. Jadi penting untuk kita lihat pada close contact dan contact tracing kita pertingkatkan, dan juga tiga kluster ni dalam proses siasatan kita. Jadi kita harap kita boleh tambah baik lagi siasatan kita untuk kita mengenal pasti mereka yang belum lagi dapat dikesan. Jadi mungkin mereka ada hubungan ataupun exposure tetapi tidak dapat dikesan. Jadi kita harap tindakan yang positif dapat kita tingkatkan lagi daripada masa ke semasa.
Okay, Datuk, this is Hisham from China Press. I have 3 questions with me. First question is the Pasar Borong KL. We see there's 28 cases. So we'd like to know how many of them are foreign workers among them. Then the second question is we are less than 1 week away from the end of phase 3 MCO. So we'd like to know KKM on KKM side, when will KKM advise the government whether or not to extend the MCO? And the third question is because we see the new cluster detected in Pengarah, Johor, he was firstly suspected having dengue, which is the same, I think, in PUI Bali, in Kuantan, one of the patients also firstly suspected as dengue. So is there any changes for those who treating suspected dengue patients, like for example, they have to wear PPE for those medical practitioners?
Okay. Thank you very much for the 3 questions. The first is in Pasar Borong, we have screened more than 4,523 cases. To date, we have 28 cases positive, whereby 8 is warga negara Malaysia and 20 warga negara asing. So, and 1 death basically involving Myanmar citizen. So we will continue to, because we re-enhance the MCO in that area, we will continue to screen more of those targeted screening in the location as well as the high-risk group. So we hope that in the next couple of days we will identify more cases in that area. The second is with regards to the MCO. Yes, as I said yesterday, we already have 6 criteria to identify in terms of when we implement, or we continue the MCO or we really end the MCO, I do not know. But at least now we have the 6 criteria in place, that hopefully with these 6 criteria, this is a criteria given by the World Health Organization, but we need to customize the criteria. And once we have customized the criteria, and then we see how best we can fit into this criteria. The first criteria we're looking into is border control. And it is very important, border control. If we open up our border, then imported cases will increase. That's something that we learned from many countries that have done that. So we need to look into the issues of border control. In fact, we need to tighten the border rather than to ease the border. Second is that when we look into movement control, and we understand that movement control, that means the transmission, local transmission from one person to another has been decreased or reduced. So if that's the case, how can we maintain in terms of transmission to one person to another? Now, our tagline is stay at home. Once you stay at home, then we break the chain of virus transmission. Now, if you want to review back again, there are certain indicators we are looking into it. One is the positive infective cases. So today we have seen our positive infective cases is below 2,000 today. Yesterday was 2,045 cases. Today is 1,000. If you look into our cases, I just mentioned earlier just now, 1,987 cases. So this is positive cases, which means it's coming down. So we need to control these positive cases, whereby today we've identified the positive cases. Although asymptomatic, we will admit them in the hospital. Those, mild symptoms also will admit them to the hospital. And we continue to monitor them. And we continue to treat them as well. Until they are negative, then only we allow them. So infectivity or positive cases that can transmit, can infect others, we need to basically isolate them. So we are doing the isolation. So you look into our total cumulative cases, minus the discharge and minus the death, and then that's where we have the positive infectivity cases that we have. So we need to make sure that we can bring down the cases. That's one. And then our daily cases now today, you see, is 2-digit 50 cases. So with the 50 cases, 5 cases, basically we are looking into imported cases. So the actual local transmission is 45 cases, although we have 50. But the actual, yesterday we reported cases, but there are actually imported cases as well as the local transmission. So the local transmission is important. That is the second criteria we're looking, and also the percentage. As I mentioned before, the infectivity 3.55 now is below 1. So we hope that we can bring down the cases now. Now is 2-digit, probably in next 1 week or next 2 weeks. If we continue to enhance our MCO, we can bring down the cases, maybe a single digit. We have seen that in other countries as well, single digit. So these are the indicators for us to consider in terms of the MCO. Whether the MCO will live up or continue, we will advise the Prime Minister to make that decision in terms of advisory. So we get the data, everything, we show it to the Prime Minister, and it is the Prime Minister's decision whether to extend or even to have a soft exit strategy on that. So that's the second criteria. The third criteria is to enhance our healthcare facilities in terms of our labs. I mean, the turnaround time, although turnaround time, acceptable turnaround time is 24 to 48 hours, the guidelines given by WHO, we try our best to have the turnaround time less than 24 hours. And we have to enhance our capabilities of the hospital, our capacity and in the hospitals to increase our COVID hospital, strengthen our ventilators, our ward, as well as our staff, for example. So these are very important. In any organization, the most important asset is our staff. So I think this is the third criteria, comes under Ministry of Health. The fourth is that when we want to consider lifting up the MCO, we must protect the vulnerable group. For example, those elderly, and then those OKU, those who have comorbidities, and those who are undergoing treatment, for example, cancer treatment and etc. So we need to protect that. So we must have a mechanism to look into protecting the old folks' home, etc. So we are looking into that. Is the fourth. The fifth is that the new norms. This is where I think we have to discuss. When we start our life again, it's not going to be back to normal, but we need to adapt to the new norm, whereby, one, there's no public gathering. Second is that social distancing. Third, protect ourselves in terms of if you are in the public, for example, and if you are facing a lot of people, then you have to put on your mask, or encouraged to put on a mask. Hand washing, don't forget about hand washing. So every now and then you should use your sanitizer or hand washing. Keep your good hygiene and take all the precautionary measures. So that is important, and that transcends across all ministry, all departments and all agencies. The first is we need to look back, as I said before, when WHO declared the public health emergency of international concern. There are three factors. One is the fatalities of the virus. Second, looking at infectivity of the virus, how fast the virus can spread. And third is the economic sector. They also look into the economic sector, whereby if you were to look back during the first wave, we protected the economic sector. That means whatever we do, we treated the 22 patients during the first wave, and then all of them discharged. You don't even feel, in terms of the disruption, the social disruption or economic disruption. So now we need to look into the priority. We have started the essential list in terms of the economic sector, and now maybe we have to open up the industry and etc. economic sector, but they have to follow the new norms that, for example, as I said, no social gathering, social distancing, and make sure that they comply. Maintain the good personal hygiene. So all that we will put in place, and we will continue to adapt and to implement in terms of looking into targeted approach. If there is an outbreak, for example, in certain area, outbreak cases, then we will come in to look into the MCO, enhance the movement control in that region, and we screen everyone there. So it can apply to a department, it can apply to a factory, it can apply to a group of people. So that's the fifth criteria, meaning we adapt to the new norm. The sixth criteria, which is also very important, is the community empowerment. So we have to empower our community, whereby now we're back to the green zone, whether it's a state, whether it's a district, whether it's a mukim or a kampung. We have to empower the community. So we have to use the workforce in the community, for example, in the district level, to protect the green area and to promote in terms of the new norms that we have. So all of us today, we practice new norm. For example, we do not shake hand anymore. So from a distance, the way we greet people really changed. And then we continue to have social distancing. We continue to maintain a high standards of hygiene, for example, and take all the precautionary measures. So these standards will be there, and it will be transcend across all ministry and departments. So these are the 5 criteria that we need to fulfill before we can even consider to end the MCO. The date 28th of April, but maybe 2 or 3 days or even 4 days before the end of 28, we will advise the Prime Minister based on our modelling, based on the facts and figures that we have, and based on the advisory from the WHO, and customize the advisory to our local needs. So that's how we're going to put up the framework. And the framework comes from the Ministry of Health, but to fill in the blanks, we need to empower the factory, the employer, for example, to follow the requirements that Ministry of Health has provided.
Assalamualaikum, Dato'.
In dengue, yes, we have actually informed most of our frontline workers to be careful, because not only dengue, even pneumonia, the SARI cases, those days SARI cases, and they treat the patient, sometimes they do not protect themselves. So once they diagnose, for example, anyone coming to the clinic, once you are healthcare workers, you need to put on the mask, for example, take all the precautionary measures, and the diagnosis must be confirmed. And then the high index of suspicion now, because as I said earlier, the surveillance that we've done for ILI and as well as SARI, there are cases in our community. So we advise our frontliners, healthcare workers, to make sure that they protect themselves, because once you treat your patients, sometimes you are not protected. We already have a couple of doctors, for example, being infected from the GPs. I was told 45 of them have been diagnosed with COVID-19. So it's important for them, the GPs, the frontliners, and those come to the GP's clinic for cough and cold, even for running nose, you have to protect yourself. So we are telling our doctors in treating SARI patient, all SARI patient will be considered as COVID positive until proven otherwise. Which means even though you do not have the results, you treat them as a COVID positive patient until you get your result, rather than you treat them without protection and then you get the result later on. So that circular has gone out, and we hope that all our frontliners take precaution in terms of treating those patients, even ILI or SARI.
Assalamualaikum. Zaini daripada Malaysia KZ. Saya ada dua soalan di sini. Kalau warga negara Malaysia yang dibawa pulang, mereka akan dikuarantin selama 14 hari. Tapi adakah prosedur itu turut dikuatkuasakan kepada anak-anak kapal kerana wujud aduan yang mereka ini tidak diasingkan dalam tempoh berkenaan, sebaliknya hanya diberi cuti rehat sahaja. So saya nak dapatkan komen Datuk berhubung perkara ini. Dan satu lagi, ada tak kes-kes jangkitan membabitkan anak-anak kapal? Soalan seterusnya Datuk, kalau tak nak buka balik sempadan selepas PKP ni tamat, adakah KKM akan nasihatkan kerajaan untuk berhentikan bawa balik rakyat kita atau benarkan rakyat kita balik? Terima kasih.
Okey, yang soalan kedua, adakah kita nak bawa balik rakyat kita? Jadi sekarang ni kita kena lihat kerjasama antara dua negara, antara Malaysia dan juga negara tersebut. Jadi mungkin larangan ataupun perintah pergerakan di negara tersebut. Jadi kita kena berbincang bagaimana kita boleh membawa balik rakyat Malaysia ke negara kita. Jadi proses tu melibatkan MKN dan juga NAKMA untuk melihat bagaimana kita boleh bawa balik rakyat Malaysia di luar negara. Yang kedua, anak-anak kapal, contohnya kalau kita punya standing operating, kalau kapal cruise contohnya, kapal layar dan sebagainya, memang tetap kita akan pastikan mereka kuarantin untuk 14 hari. Tetapi kalau penerbangan, jadi kita lihat keadaan anak kapal tersebut sama ada dia ada stop tempat tertentu. Kalau tak ada stop, mungkin yang tu yang kita akan berbincang dengan Kementerian Pengangkutan melihat kepada aktiviti mereka sebelum kita benarkan mereka balik ke rumah ataupun cara kuarantin yang lain. Jadi yang tu kita akan lihat pada teliti bersama dengan Kementerian Pengangkutan.
Datuk, Alia from Malaysia kini. I have two questions. The first is how many tests have been conducted in total in the 24-hour period of noon April 21st to noon April 22nd? And second, I would like to get your response to concerns. Will KKM advocate for frontline allowance to be disbursed to more medical staff, because including those who are stationed in screening tents, because there are complaints or concerns that they have difficulties accessing the allowance that has been announced?
Yeah. So, okay, thank you. There are two questions here. The first is how many, the capacity of a test. So, as I mentioned earlier, our capacity from the 43 labs that we have, total capacity 11,548. And now we are using the antibody test kit for those quarantine day 13. So, day 13, if the antibody no response, non-reactive, then we allow the patient to discharge. But if that day 13 antibody is positive, then we have to do the PCR again. So that's how we actually reduce in terms of the using a PCR for day 13. Our capacity 11,546 from 43 labs. But more importantly, every day, for yesterday, for example, 21st of April, we did 9,899 tests been done, which account for about 86%. And we asked IMR to reduce the volume in IMR so that we hope that IMR can focus more on isolation of the virus, culture the virus, and study the virus. So the other labs, they are doing about 500 plus, but other labs, for example, IMR is doing about 658 tests yesterday, but their capacity is more than that, about 850. And then we hope that IMR can focus to identify the virus. For example, today we have seen doing the first analysis shows that our virus is the strain B virus. So whether it's possible for us to get a strain C as a strain A. So we have to do the isolation and culture the virus. So in total, every day we do about 85% or 89% of the capacity of our lab. Our capacity is 11,546 and yesterday 9,899. Okay.
Okay, Datuk.
And allowance, that has been discussed and is in our top management, and our Datuk Sri KSU will actually implement it. So it depends on the funding that been given to us by MOF, and that's not under my forte, it's under our Secretary General. So we hope that our Secretary General will look into it and then disperse the funds.
Okay, Datuk Rosma from RTM. 3 kementerian bekerjasama untuk MOSTI, Wisma Putra dan KKM untuk mengenal pasti negara yang berpotensi dalam kajian berkaitan dengan vaksin, dan semalam mereka ada meeting bersama. Jadi antara negara tu adalah China, UK, Korea Selatan. Jadi antara cadangan MOSTI adalah untuk mengadakan ujian manusia di Malaysia. Jadi dari segi Kementerian Kesihatan, adakah ujian manusia human trial itu sesuai diadakan di Malaysia, sama ada dari sudut Malaysia, kepelbagaian etnik dan juga situasi Covid-19 semasa. Okay, terima kasih.
Jadi kerajaan kita sekarang ni tengah berbincang dengan negara-negara yang ada keupayaan untuk mengeluarkan vaksin. Dan ada 2-3 negara yang telah dikenal pasti ada keupayaan untuk keluarkan vaksin. Tetapi apabila kita dah kenal pasti vaksin tersebut, kita kena jalankan penyidikan, sebab ada vaksin ada kesan samping dan sebagainya. Jadi Malaysia, kalau kita dipilih untuk jadikan tempat untuk kajian, sebagaimana WHO, Pertubuhan Kesihatan Dunia, melaksanakan rawatan. Jadi ada 4 kumpulan obat contohnya. Malaysia telah dikenal pasti sebagai sebuah negara yang boleh menjalankan kajian tersebut. Dan begitu juga kalau kita lihat, kalau kita berbincang dengan negara yang boleh mengeluarkan vaksin dan kita bersedia untuk menerima vaksin tersebut untuk dijalankan sebagai kajian. Jadi kita boleh pantau sama ada vaksin ini berkesan ataupun tidak. Yang itu satu. Yang kedua, mungkin kita tak ada keupayaan setakat ini untuk menjana ataupun melihat untuk membuat vaksin. Tetapi kita kalau kita dah kenal pasti vaksin tersebut, mungkin kita boleh melihat kepada pembuatan vaksin di negara kita. Jadi mungkin formula dah ada dan sebagainya, vaksin dah kenal pasti, kita boleh manufacturing the vaksin di negara kita. Jadi ini mungkin kerjasama dengan negara-negara lain. Jadi kalau kita bekerjasama bersepadu, data kita contohnya boleh kita menyumbang kepada kajian penyidikan vaksin bersama. Walaupun kita tak ada keupayaan asas untuk mengenal pasti vaksin dan sebagainya, tetapi dalam proses pembuatan kita boleh menyumbang dari situ. Dan juga perbincangan, kalau dah vaksin kita dah kenal pasti vaksin yang boleh menyembuh, kita nak pastikan Malaysia diberi keutamaan untuk dapatkan vaksin untuk negara kita.
Hi, Datuk Raga from TMI. 3 questions. The first one is companies that have been allowed to resume operations during the MCO are required to send their workers for health screening, and SOCSA has designated 3,000 panel clinics for this. Are there enough test kits to accommodate this? The second question is that will this be required of those returning to work after the MCO? Will they be required to also undergo health screening before they can go back to work? And the third is what is the update of the the procurement of the South Korean test kits?
Okay. Thank you very much. I just answer the question just now about anak kapal. Setakat ni tak ada anak kapal yang didapati positif. Jadi that's I missed that question, answered a question tadi. Jadi tak ada case positif dikenal pasti di kalangan anak kapal. So the questions from your side is in terms of health screening. We adopted the approach. I think every one of you know that our approach is basically targeted approach in terms of the location, in terms of the high risk group. And we have been doing this from day one in terms of our containment. So we do not screen everyone, but we just look into the containment, and then we go after those PUI, and we go after those close contact. And we do know that the close contact is about 30%. If you have a close contact with a positive patient, the chances of you to get positive is about 30%. So that is the data that we have. So our approach from early containment and even late containment, we go as an active case detection. On the PUI, you have symptoms, PUI, plus the close contact. And with this targeted approach, in MCO 1 and 2, we have shown the result today. So now, if we were to do mass screening for 32 million population, for example, the whole country, so if we start whole country, whether it is feasible or not, so whether it's necessary or not. So this is a thing we still maintain in the Ministry of Health, targeted approach to the location and to the high-risk group. And if you identify the location, for example, then you go in and EMCO in that area. And in EMCO, we screen everyone. So it's very targeted approach that how we do, so that we can have a high impact, and a good outcome in a short period of time, so that we can focus our resources into the targeted group. So that's our approach now. And returnees, yes, in terms of returnees, we are also using the targeted approach. Otherwise, our targeted approach have shown results. Initially, when we were questioned whether to screen everyone, and I was also informed in Korea they do not screen everyone. Only targeted group that actually in a high risk group will do it. So we will continue to do that. Even then, in terms of the tests available, we have two tests that antigen test or antibody test. Our gold standard is RT-PCR, and our capacity is 11,500 from 43 labs. We have 5 labs coming up in the Ministry of Health, and I was made to understand there are a few more coming in the private sector and also the university. So at least Ministry of Health 5 are in progress. So we hope that we can increase the capacity of our PCR lab, RT-PCR. But we also have antibody. If you want to use the antibody, so we say that we cannot use antibody for diagnostic, right? Because if you want to do an antibody and the response is more important is the antibody response. So first day and 7th day, if you want to do antibody response. So if it's negative the first day, doesn't mean there's no virus there. Virus there, probably your body have not generated the antibody. So it takes about 7 days for your IgM to have the antibody in your body. So that's why if the antibody is positive, that means you are exposed. Then we will subject that positive and reactive antibody for a PCR test to confirm whether the virus is there. Now, our gold standard, the best is RT-PCR. And the test kit from Korea, yes, we have done the testing and we are happy with the outcome. But now, I think in the process of procurement. So we have not received it yet, but now we are going through G to G. So we hope that our Wisma Putra will continue to assist us to get the vaccine as soon as possible. Not vaccine, I mean the test kit, rapid test kit, antigen test kit as soon as possible.
Sorry, Kurator, Emir Zainul from The Edge. My first question is actually on the antigen rapid test kit from South Korea. If it has arrived, when it has arrived, how do you plan on using it and distributing it across the country? And second question is on migrant workers. Last week you mentioned that we're going to do a large-scale testing on migrant workers, and after a week, I don't think we've seen a shot up in cases in migrant workers. So can we safely say that the migrant workers in Malaysia is not a high-risk group as it is in Singapore?
Okay, thank you. I will answer the second question first. When we look into the migrant workers, we need, now that we are doing the enhanced MCO in that area, since we are screening everyone there, then we will get the results and then we can say whether the incidence is high, whether it's more than 4.7% of our incidence rate, or lower than that or higher than that. Now the data will show to us. If it's low, then obviously you are right. Maybe our incidence is not high. But if it's high, then we have to continue our targeted or enhanced MCO in that region. So that is the thing. But in terms of the rapid test kit, how do we going to use it? It will complement our RT-PCR. Our RT-PCR is based in our lab, 43 labs. So there will be a logistic to send the specimen. Now, if we get the rapid test kit antigen, we can go to the community. Number one is that at least we can actually place a biosafety cabinet. We have a biosafety cabinet at the airport, for example, KLIA, KLIA2. We are intending to put in the airport as well as in our clinics. So we can put the biosafety cabinet and you can do the swab straight away. We can get the answer within 30 to 45 minutes then. Even we can do it for a transit passenger. For example, we do a swab, they wait for half an hour and we can get the test within 30 to 45 minutes. And one go, we can do 15 tests if you use the rapid antigen test kit. So we hope that once you get the rapid antigen test kit, the advantage is that it's fast, very fast turnaround time, and the second is that you can do at point of care, provided you have the biosafety cabinet. So that's how we are going to complement the usage. So we also have mooted the idea, and we are starting this project. There is a mobile biosafety cabinet. So now, for example, we are having the EMCO in Pasar Borong, Kuala Lumpur. We will park our mobile lab there, and we can do it there as well. So that will complement in terms of our diagnosis using the rapid test kit.
Dato'?
We expect to arrive earliest probably on Friday, but maybe this weekend or next week. So procurement has been done, but now we are going through because going to the logistic issue, there's one, but also I think the demand is high demand for the rapid test kit, not only from Malaysia but globally. So now we are working towards a G2G for us to assist our government and KLN as well as the Korean embassy to see how best we can actually facilitate the import of this test kit.
Dato', tadi Datuk kata setakat ni kajian menunjukkan kita strain daripada B virus tu. Boleh Datuk terangkan sikit mengenai kajian ni?
Okey, yang sekarang ni kita dimaklumkan ada 3 strain, berarti A, B dan C. A dikatakan terdapat di Amerika Syarikat, di mana dia datang pada kelawar contohnya A. Jadi mungkin virus di Amerika Syarikat tu adalah mutasi A. Jadi yang di negara China ialah dikatakan ialah type B, dan di Malaysia ataupun di Singapura dan juga di Eropah dikatakan virus type C. Tapi apa yang kita kenal pasti sekarang ni dalam peringkat ujian awal kita, iaitu kita melihat kepada gelombang pertama, pesakit kita gelombang pertama, kita ada 22 pesakit gelombang pertama. Kes yang pertama kita dapati ialah pada 25 Januari dan melibatkan 16 warga negara China. Dan kita ada 16, jadi kita ada 6 kes yang bukan warga negara China. Rakyat Malaysia pun terlibat juga dan 1 warga negara Amerika. Jadi kita melihat kepada virus tersebut dan kita bandingkan dengan gelombang kedua, iaitu warga negara Malaysia, dan kita lihat pada gelombang pertama kita asingkan virus tersebut, kita kuturkan virus tersebut dan kita kaji virus tersebut, kita dapati ialah daripada sama dengan di Wuhan, iaitu strain B. Iaitu yang kita kenal pasti. Sekarang ni kita ada strain lain di gelombang kedua. Ada yang dari Jepun, ada yang PUI daripada Itali. Jadi kita lihat kat Sarawak sekarang ada daripada Itali. Adakah dia strain A, B ataupun C? Ada yang datang dari United States, ada daripada UK. Jadi kita sekarang tengah melaksanakan penyidikan untuk asingkan virus daripada pesakit-pesakit kita, yang sampel-sampel yang kita ada. Lepas tu kita akan kuturkan virus tersebut dan kita akan kaji dan sama ada mutasi ataupun kenal pasti jenis virus yang kita ada. Jadi ini kajian yang dilaksanakan oleh IMR. Jadi kita harap apabila kita dapat kajian tersebut, kajian ini juga akan menjadi tanda aras untuk kita buat perbandingan dengan negara-negara yang lain. Jadi kalau kita sekarang lihat kes kita daripada gelombang pertama, kedua dan juga semua yang daripada negara import, kes import ni, sama ada kita di negara kita ada virus jenis apa. Tetapi saya percaya sebab kes import ni dah merata, jadi mungkin besar kemungkinan virus kita mungkin ada A, B dan C. Tapi kalau kita ada A, B dan C, peratusannya berapa? Jadi kita nak tahu lebih lagi dan hanya ada penyidikan dan kajian baru kita dapat jawab soalan kita ni. Okey, terima kasih.